Good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. Now, standing today, we're going to be shooting a pretty interesting topic which can only happen in India. Apart from India, there is no another country which I know where all these things happen. Every day on your mobile phones, you must be getting several messages from the banks, which is update your KYC, update your PAN ID, update your tax ID, update your whatever, all these passport numbers and everything. There are so many messages which people are getting. I also get, right? You feel sometimes frustrated that the only job a person do have in his lifetime throughout whatever 80, 70 lifetime is that he needs to stand outside the gate of the bank and do the KYC. So if a person lives 75, then all 75 years he stand outside the gate of the bank and do the KYC. This is the only thing left for the bank. All 75 years. But I don't know how many of you have read Karvy scandal carefully. So first of all, I'm sorry for that, because I was in Singapore, being a Singapore based company, spent a lot of time in Singapore. I came here, so I not got much time to shoot a lot of videos. But you can watch us on TikTok. On TikTok, we shoot a lot of videos. User ID Rahul Magan 8. A lot of people, when India is a country where people have a saving mindset, that is for sure. And this saving mindset, out of which there are many people who have trading mindset, including me. And what we do, we put some collateral to these brokerage houses. Now, sometimes this collateral in the form of the hard cash, sometimes in the form of a term deposit, sometimes in the form of a security, right? Now, what happened? These securities are actually valued on a dirty price basis. But I'm damn sure that 99% of the people, those who are watching this video, themselves do not know that how the brokerage firms values this on the dirty price basis, including myself. Myself means that whenever I ask my broker that what is the value of my security on a dirty price, they come with a standard answer that we don't do that, henceforth we cannot help you with this. And they add another line in the email that no customer asks this. Paid country, media is chore, everybody we know, so you all know that, what happens. Now what happens eventually is that these brokerage houses regularly needs money. They pledge, ideally they should have pledged their money to the banks and take the funding and give you the line. So example, I open an account in USD INR. Today the one lot is approximately 71,000 something, 71,500 precisely you can say. But I can trade, I need not to, out of this 71,000, the margin which I am paying is just 1,500 or 2,000, not more than that. But the difference of 71 minus 1,500 is actually being paid by that company. For that they keep their money aside, and that money they pledge and secure a working capital line, and sometimes this includes securities also. This is how the business goes. So whatever I make, there is some percentage which they make. They have their own prop desk who continue to trade. That's high frequency trading. We should not enter into this, at how they make money and so on and so forth. But India is actually a great country. Great country in the sense, like what happens, a company known as Karvy, they make a lot of offices, not very far from our office in India. They have they made two-story building. And every time when I go out for meeting, I look at that, how are people able to make such big buildings as offices? Is it they are making a lot of money, or is it they are doing something which we're not understanding now? So when Karvy was doing the construction very near to our office, just 2-3 kilometers from our office, I always feel that this is one of the very posh areas we have. And in these posh areas, making an office building means you are making a hell lot of money, right? Now, once this scam come into the picture, I really got to know from where they make the money. But the story is not ended here. The story is that Karvy brings the client securities and pledges to banks. Oops. I go to branch to open an account. I tell you a story. Very simple story. just 1 kilometer from here we have a branch of HDFC, and sometimes I go to this branch to deposit the money, you know, and sometimes I used to send my brother to give the money. So what happens that when I go, they take the slip and ask me to sign, and when I send my brother, the lady who sits at the cash counter always asks the question that, is it you are the depository? Hey, wait, somebody depositing the money, somebody is not taking the money out. The signatures will value, I have already signed it, they ask for another sign, and the signatures value once you taking the money out. So here you are depositing. So one time I got, and I said I am his brother, I am not Rahul Magan. There is a good fight happened. Ultimately the result was that HDFC Bank having a circular whereby, and this circular by the way not approved by HDFC, not approved by RBI, it is not on the RBI website, and I not got it on the HDFC website also, that to be honest. What happened, they said, we are having a circular, if a third party comes and deposit on your name, we will charge a fees worth 35 to 40 rupees. This is called Dhanda. I call this Dhanda. Indian banks have a very good dhanda nowadays. If you would have opened the newspaper of Economic Times and all, you get to know that Axis Bank is promoting very high the private banking. Just use 0.5% of your mind or 1% of your mind, you would get to know why they are promoting the private bank. You get to know especially after Shikha Sharma. Don't forget that. Okay, now eventually the story not ended. Karvy pledges around 3,000 crore worth of, precisely 2,800 crore worth securities to 3 banks, HDFC, ICICI and IndusInd, and oops, no bank got to know that this security is not of Karvy, this is of the client. I am going to a branch, signing, depositing my money, they are checking am I Rahul Magan or not. But 2,800 worth crores of securities pledged to these 3 banks, they not checked it is client security or Karvy security. It's a 10 minutes job. You just need to check ISIN number, International Security Identification number, because every security is assigned with ISIN number. Now what happened, once this fraud comes into public domain, then they move to NSE. NSE cancelled their license due to force, not by wish. BSE cancelled their license. They moved to NSDL. Now they move to SAT, so that the pledge, the securities which they have, they can sell these securities and recover the money. But there is an issue. The issue is that both NSDL and SAT cannot approve them to sell this security. Ultimately, it's a client money. It's not theirs money. It's client money. But the problem here is that only in a country like India such frauds can happen openly. The twist comes when in June 2019, SEBI issued a circular in public domain. And SEBI said that no brokerage house can issue, can basically pledge the customer security for the sake of money. They need to very well bifurcate. This is their own money, which is prop money, and this is the customer money. They can pledge their money, but they cannot pledge the client's money. Did anyone bothered? No. How much is the quantum of the fraud? 2,800. SEBI got to know? No. And our media is too smart, very smart, that the statutory auditors in this whole game, ultimately Karvy is being statutory audited. Hope you agree. The statutory auditor in this whole game are scot-free. Even today, most of the people do not know that who is the statutory auditor of Karvy. You please open any Live Mint, Economic Times, Business Times, open your so-called Aaj Tak, Republic TV, CNBC TV, ET Now and all. You would get to know no one dare to say that where were the auditors. When they pledged it, it is the first moral and the professional duty of the auditors to check, oops, this is client security. How can you pledge it? It's repledging. client already pledged to you as a margin and you pledged to a bank without informing him. Ultimately, the way the scene changes. Ultimately, scene is that they still expect that SAT to give them some reprieve and SAT allow them to sell this security in the public domain so that they can get the money. So where is the customer? Where is the customer? Customer is gone. In India, anyways, customer is gone. But the twist came here. Who can give me in writing that this thing is not happening in Relier? This thing is not happening in Sher Khan. And there are so many broking firms which we have. If I start naming the broking firms, I think I need a whole pad to list the broking firms. But what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is very clear. And I tell you, when the Nirav Modi fraud happened, many great bankers came in the public domain and said that the end of the show. But I said no, it is the beginning of the show. Even today the frauds are happening. And I'm telling you, it is not the end of the show. It is the beginning of the show. I'm telling you, in India there is a big fraud which is happening, and what this fraud is that you actually have two big lobbies, three. One is the bank lobby. This bank lobby is so powerful that they have the money of the deposits. One is the broking lobby, and this broking lobby is in such a way that they have decided that they continue to pledge the client security and they continue to rotate their working capital. Go to hell, the SEBI circular and regulator. Third is the regulator who is sleeping or paid or maybe both. I think it is both. Elsewise, it is next to impossible that regulator will never get to know that what is happening. And fourth is the auditor. Auditor is only worried about one thing, which is auditor worry about his invoice value. The more invoice value he will get, he can sign anywhere. That is, at the end of the day, such frauds would continue. Reserve Bank of India, Security and Exchange Board of India, or any other regulator will continue to sleep. The end result is that the losing party would always be customer. And very important thing which we need to remember is that such fraud will only happen in India. Because if you open a bank account, they ask so many documents from you. If you open a credit card, they ask so many documents for you. But one place where they do not ask documents, when 2,800 crore securities pledges to banks and no KYC is being done. If I would be the finance minister, I would have cancelled the license of SDFC, I would have cancelled the license of ICICI, and I would have cancelled the license of IndusInd Bank, those who lended the money. That it is your mistake, you have not did the KYC, so your license is cancelled. I would have cancelled the license of Karvy and immediately put the proprietors of the Karvy in the jail for more than 45 years. I would have cancelled the license of the statutory auditors of the Karvy and make sure that they not been able to do any audit, plus put a heavy penalty on all three of them. Plus I would have fired everyone who is in the regulatory department who is used to do the audit. But I assure you one thing, Karvy will get their license back, you know how. Nothing will happen to these banks, you know how. Statutory auditors will continue to audit, you know how. And regulators will get promotion. This is how this country will run. But don't worry, please be busy in the citizenship bill, please be busy in Hindu-Muslim, please be busy in all these divide and rule politics done by any political group. This is how we are heading, this is how the system is heading. The whole globe is talking about Bitcoin, blockchain, virtual banking, digital banking, Internet of Things, augmented reality, virtual reality, and hell lot of technical stuff. When I come here, I get to know even the basic check and balances are missing. Basic check and balancing are missing. I know most of the people do not like this video because people do not like the truth. People like Arnab Goswami, but I'm sorry, I'm not Arnab Goswami. With this, I thank you very much. You know my mobile number, which is +91 9899242978, and don't forget that Treasury Consulting Group most ambitious dream, not everything, one of the most ambitious dream to launch the business channel, which is Treasury Consulting TV, is few days away. We secured the virtual conferencing lines, and in this virtual conferencing lines, we now starting our vision to be a Treasury Consulting TV, and we'll keep you posted. Have a good time and keep yourself busy in citizenship building.